In recent months, London has witnessed an alarming surge in animal abandonment cases, with numerous shelters and rescues reporting a significant increase in the number of pets being left behind by their owners. The crisis has brought to light the struggles faced by many in the city, where financial constraints have become a major concern, leading some to make the heartbreaking decision to give up their beloved companions. Heartbreaking cases. Staff at a London animal shelter, Mayhew, have seen a substantial rise in the number of animals brought in over the past few months. The shelter, located in Kensal Green, West London, has taken in over 130 animals this year alone. The cases are often heartbreaking, with owners feeling they have no choice but to abandon their pets due to financial difficulties. Brownie, a 1-year-old toy poodle, was brought in by his owner after they lost their home due to financial troubles. Astro, a pocket American bully, was also brought in due to his owner's financial struggles. These cases highlight the devastating impact of the cost of living crisis on the city's animal population. The crisis has not only affected the owners but also the pets themselves, with many arriving at the shelter in poor health due to lack of veterinary care. The rise of animal abandonment. The increase in animal abandonment cases is a result of the growing financial struggles faced by many in the UK. The pandemic saw a surge in pet ownership, but as normal lifestyles resumed, many owners found themselves struggling to afford the costs associated with pet care. The cost of living crisis, which began with the pandemic, has further exacerbated the issue. The RSPCA reported over 5,700 abandonments in the first few months of this year, a 32% rise on the same period in 2022. Last year saw around 22,500 cases reported in total, up more than 7% on 2022. These statistics demonstrate the widespread impact of the cost of living crisis on the UK's animal population. The RSPCA has reported a significant increase in abandonments, with many owners being forced to make difficult choices between feeding themselves or their pets. A nation of pet lovers. Despite being a nation of dog and cat lovers, the UK's poorest are being hit hardest by the crisis. Staff at Mayhew said that some owners were having to choose between feeding themselves or their pets. This is a stark reality faced by many in the country, where the cost of living has become a major concern. Financial constraints. The financial constraints faced by many in the UK have become a significant factor driving animal abandonment. The cost of living crisis, which began with the pandemic, has led to a surge in prices for many items, including pet food, which have gone up by around 25%. Item price increase. Pet food 25%. These price increases have made it increasingly difficult for owners to afford the costs associated with pet care, leading to an increase in animal abandonment cases. Shelters doing their best. Despite the challenges they face, shelters like Mayhew are doing their best to care for the animals brought in. However, the pressure has pushed the shelter's staff to their limits, with some describing the situation as run off our feet. "We are run off our feet, we can't keep up with the demand," said Elvira Musi-Lyons, the boss of the Mayhew shelter. Quoted section: "We are run off our feet, we can't keep up with the demand. It's heartbreaking to see the pets coming in, knowing we can't help them all." Elvira Musi-Lyons, Mayhew shelter boss. Living costs and pet care. The pandemic saw a spike in pet ownership under government lockdowns, and a subsequent wave of people then giving up their animals as normal lifestyles resumed. However, living costs, which soared during the pandemic, have become a major factor driving abandonments. The RSPCA spokesman David Bowles stated, "Living costs, which soared during the pandemic, have become a major factor driving abandonments." Return of lockdown pets. Some people are returning lockdown pets, several years on. However, the RSPCA has reported that living costs have become a major factor driving abandonments, rather than just the return of lockdown pets. Some owners are returning lockdown pets, several years on. However, the RSPCA has reported that living costs have become a major factor driving abandonments, rather than just the return of lockdown pets. These points highlight the complexities of the issue, with living costs becoming a major factor driving abandonments. Conclusion. In conclusion, the cost of living crisis in London has brought to light the struggles faced by many in the city, where financial constraints have become a major concern, leading to an alarming surge in animal abandonment cases. Shelters like Mayhew are doing their best to care for the animals brought in, but the pressure has pushed the staff to their limits, highlighting the need for urgent attention to address the issue.